Hi everyone, and welcome to Gaming with Vindicator, where we're building the city of Mikelsfjord. In the last episode, we untangled the massive train traffic that had our rails gridlocked all the way down the lines here. It's looking much better, but we've still got a bottleneck north of heavy metals here. And the reason for that is because the lines actually merge. We've got a cargo line and our passenger lines merging. And so these trains are getting backed up, as you can see in this area. Plus, our seaport and our cargo airport, they're just running at max capacity, and this just won't do for an industrial powerhouse like Mikelsfjord. If we want to grow, we need to have some new export facilities. So in this episode, we'll be setting up a new rail port, an external train terminal, and we'll be laying the foundation for a new cargo airport. But first, let's fix this bottleneck. As you can see, the passenger trains mix with the freight traffic after this junction here, and we're going to go ahead and double track this. So here we go. And we're gonna add an overpass here because now we're gonna have double lines crossing, and I'd rather just go right over the road. Plus, I don't think you can cross two tracks that are that close together, so we're gonna back this off a little bit. And unfortunately, we're gonna have to, you know what, we're just gonna remove this power line because we'll be able to connect it a little closer. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna actually get the passenger train lines on the outside rail here, and the cargo trains oh no, you know what we're gonna do is we're gonna switch them over. Because the passenger trains are on this side and the cargo trains are on the top side, we have to get these lines switched over somehow. So we'll connect them up, and then we'll do something over here to figure out how to switch those lines to the opposite side. I like the way that looks. The lines are separated. The cargo trains have their own line, and the passenger trains have their own line. Those passenger trains won't get stuck anymore waiting for the freight. Of course, we're not quite done. So as I said, we're gonna have to shift the lines to the opposite side in order to get the passengers on this side. So we're gonna back this off a little bit, and we're gonna delete this tunnel. We'll back this off to here. The grading took care of itself. It doesn't look too steep, should be good. Now, after this rail bridge, we're gonna put a tunnel going down as soon as possible. That's pretty good. Yeah, I think that's gonna work. Just make sure everything's connected. And can we run it? Those tracks go underground, they meet up underground. The cargo comes out here, the passengers are all connected. And these lines are looking great. Those bridges are parallel. I like the way they match. There's a bit of a dip there, but I don't think it really matters that much. I think we can live with that. This is looking good and smooth, parallel tracks for the most part, and our grades are good. Those trains should jump their way back to where they're supposed to be. Our road's connected again, and I like it. And you know what, while I'm here, let's do something to fix this area. Now this neighborhood I called what I thought was Østringen, which was supposed to mean East Ridge, because it is the eastern part of the city and it's on a ridge, haha. But there was a user on Reddit, his name was Liger's Magic Skills, and he told me that in fact what I've got here means cheeseback, so I'm gonna have to switch that up. We don't need any cheesebacks in our city, so we're gonna change the name. And of course, You know, I'm thankful for this guy for the Norwegian lesson, but it's been a bit of a trick to figure out how to get those interesting Norwegian letters onto the keyboard. So we're gonna try. Let me try to figure this out. Okay, I think we've got it fixed. And let me try my hand at this Norwegian pronunciation. Estosen. Is that right? Estosen? Tell me in the comments if I did that right. Thanks so much for the Norwegian lesson, and we fixed that up. Great. All right, the next thing we want to do is let's start running this and see how it starts to perform. And of course, yep, those trains are gonna hopefully jump onto the right side of the track, do a little bit of acrobatics there, perhaps get a little bit stuck. It'll fix itself. It'll fix itself. Oh, hey, of course, we need to fix this power line. This is our only power line to this area. Of course, we have the power plant up north there, but we don't want to disconnect it from the rest of the region. So there we go. We have our power. We have our water. Everything's looking good. Oh, I did want to switch out something. So I noticed that when you have trains coming in and there's a dead end, they're all trying to come out again. So I'm going to fix that and take advantage of a game mechanic where if you make a one-way, those trains can come in, but they can't come out, obviously. So this station here is going to be our import station. It's going to be one-way in. And that will serve this city of Nordved. And if we take a look at the traffic, a lot of deliveries are going there. Well, a significant amount. And that's only going to grow because it's the nearest import station to that city. So all the goods that they require in those commercial areas and whatnot, they're coming into this station. So this will be our import station, and we'll make the other one on the other side our export station. And we're going to see how that runs, and hopefully that cleans up a little bit of this traffic as well. So now we have an import on the north side and export on the south side. And this station here, it's going to get very busy with all those exports rerouting themselves over there, but we'll see how that performs. Great. Next thing we want to do, we're going to head down the line here, and we're going to figure out, all right, so we know all the traffic is going on this train line down off to the cargo airport and to our cargo ports in this area. And by the way, let's turn this one on. We need the capacity. We're going to let it run. And while we're here, let's just do a slight rejigging on some of these train lines. I'm trying to get this line straight. It's just not wanting to cooperate, so we're gonna just try that one more time here. And that is better. Okay, let's make sure that's proper. So what I've tried to do here is give all of these train lines a bit more room so they're not getting bunched up. There's more places for these trains to wait. Now, if you're coming from the north end of the map over there, you can come either through the main line or you can go underground here. If you've stopped at one of these stations, you can come out and you can cross onto either of these lines, where one takes you into the cargo port over here, this line on the left side. The next one will take you down to the cargo airport in that direction, or you can skip that cargo port and go to this cargo port, which provides another alternative route. On this right line, we split off here. One is going to this cargo port and to this one, which serves this external port, external train yard. And the one on the far right skips all of that and goes all the way into the cargo airport from the other side. So we're just giving it a little bit more breathing space, and I think that's going to perform well. Now we got to fix this power here. We'll run that again and make sure everything's working. And our academic year looking good. Everything should be fine now. This line, I'm hoping will clear itself. A lot of these people want to go to the cargo port, which is blocked up by the guys from this line. That hopefully will clear, but I'm still convinced that we need more port capacity. So we're gonna head across the bay here and look at this spot. I've already prepared in advance, knowing that we probably have a seaport in this area here. However, I also want to put an airport in this area. It's one of the best flat areas in the whole of the map. There is a lot of mountainous regions in the area, so this seems to be like a perfect spot to put a whole big industrial export-import area. Now we do have to be a bit careful with the runway. You can see there's a mountain here. Let's get our topography on. There's a mountain here. We don't want to put a runway facing into that. Mountains there, mountain there. Highway spans here, so we got to be very careful with the way that we position our runway. However, I'm looking at this and I'm seeing there's a pretty easy approach from this side. So your planes come in here and they can land sort of anywhere in this direction there. So what I want to do is, and they can get over the highway here too. So what I want to do is put a runway in there that sort of lines up with that pocket in the mountains. This might take a few tries, but we're going to give it a shot. So that was our runway. I don't see that anything would be in the way. I think that's looking good. Now, of course, that's not a runway, that's a road, so we've got to build our airport based off of that. Let's take a quick peek at the cargo airport. So that's got a significant bump out. We need to put a road either in the back end or on this end over here. And let's check our topography again. Yeah, we can definitely stick a road in there. So if we put the road about there, that should do it. I'm thinking, you know, right in this cluster of trees here. So what we'll do is we'll use our fire watchtower here, our lonesome tower, as our guide. We'll square this up and we'll bring it off right about here. This is probably going to be a okay spot for airport. I might take it over just a little bit, just so that we can put a major artery in here. And if we do that, I'm hoping that'll work. Now let's clean this up and take advantage of all this flat land here and the wide open approach. Now this airport, it's probably not going to be perfectly positioned. Oh, and what am I thinking? Of course we want the airport hub, right? We want to be able to get our rails in there. So I'm going to place it just about in the middle of this pad here. We can always move it later, but I want to know what my destination is for my rails, because we are bringing the railroad out here. Maybe not in this episode, but we're getting started. So runway looks great, looking good. We might bump it over just a bit, but for now it's fine. Okay, and you know what? I don't think it needed any grading. We'll be fine. Next step. I want to put another highway connection here because we're going to have a lot of cargo coming in and out. The next closest highway connection is here. This is a residential connection mainly, and then it takes us into this over here. So it would make a lot of sense to put in a connection over here. And I don't want to get it too close to over here. In fact, we might need to back this off a bit so that people can change lanes and merge into whichever lane they need to go. So I'm going to pause this while I make some relatively significant modifications to this whole thing. I think that will serve us well. So we're going to start connecting that up with on-ramps. And for some reason I'm not getting my angle snap, so we're just going to have to be as precise as possible with the 90 degrees. And we're going down by one tick at a time. Now I've got my angle. So that we have a nice smooth grade here. And then we're on the ground there. Now as I mentioned, we're just so close to this junction. If you wanted to come off here and try to go into the left lane, you're going to be doing some death-defying feats. So we don't want that. We want to back that off, and we'll get there. Let's just fix this other one up first. Close enough. Yeah. All right. That's looking good so far. Let's back this off here. That is pretty darn good. Let's make sure it's all going the right way. Yes, sir, that's looking good. Okay, we have the makings of an interchange. We have to fix this back up. Let's try to wrap our heads around this one because it is not a simple interchange. What I'm going to do here is just use the regular roads to connect these two and bring it out a bit. It's just so that I get the the grid lines, and that way I can use some of these two-lane highways. I'm going to put a single lane coming up this and probably I think a double, or you know what I'm going to do? No, none of that. Yeah, I see an opportunity here to do something fun. Let's see if that's possible. And I might need to back that off just a bit. I kind of want to have 220 length, but we'll see if it's possible. I want to come up, I don't want to be right next to this or it's going to be very difficult to connect, so I'm going to come up 3 and just do a little bit of length off this way. Oh yeah, the old trident. And we'll back this up just slightly a bit more and get that a nice clean connection. This will come way back, doesn't need to curve so gracefully. Let's just check the topography, make sure it's all smooth. It might be okay. I'll just bring it out straight. I can't help myself, we're gonna smooth it out a little bit. Yep, that's quite smooth. We certainly don't need all this length, but hey, who am I to argue with the map creator? We'll leave it as is, and we'll make sure it's turned around the right way. And that's looking great. Okay, now we have one of these sorted out, and we've left enough length for cars to come out of here and change lanes if they want to go onto this far off-ramp. They can, and they can do it hopefully in a safe way where they're not trying to cut across 3 lanes of traffic. And how are we doing in the back here? This one comes around and just kind of skirts the region. I'm honestly not sure why there are slip lanes like that or whatever they're called. However, yes, so this exit will bring us into town from that right side of the map, and this is just going to need to curve a bit faster. I'm wondering if I can do the same trident on this side. It's going to be tricky. It's going to be tricky. Or could I bring this underneath here? No, it's looking a little bit low for that. Let's just see. Let's just see. I suspect not, since the map creator didn't go for it. Yeah, no, it's too, I don't see any pillars in the way. Oh, there's maybe a pillar. Oh, what? If I can just figure out these pillars, we might be okay. Yeah, And bring it on that side, would that work? That's going to require a little bit more mental effort than I'm willing to expend at this point. So, I think we just have an opportunity to start bending this a little bit. So, we're not going to have the same ease as we did on this side. Let's play with it a little bit and see if we can figure it out. It may not be the prettiest junction that I've seen, but that works. That works. It's gonna be alright. Okay, let's switch those directions around. Boom, boom, boom. Coming in, coming in, coming in, coming in. Okay. See no error messages. It's looking good. So now, coming this way, we can get. Oh, we better get those directions on. We can come this way. We can go all the way around. One of these will merge with the highway here. One of these will pass all the way down here, allowing us to get off into this neighborhood. The other one is just going to force you to stay straight on. Well, it's not the most logical thing in my mind, but it works. And one of these will let us come off from this direction, and that's coming all the way from this roundabout. Yes, and also the rest of the highway. So there are two different ways to get into this area. I like it. I like it. And you can get back onto the national highway and go down that way. Okay, so we have our interchange. Now we got to connect it up to this new port area. However, I believe there's a little bit of bumpiness here. So we're going to get our grading tools out. Make sure we just flatten this pad right out. Make sure no unexpected bumps anywhere. You can come and bring that all the way in here. And nice and smooth. Okay, now we've got a nice flat pad to work with, or flatter than it was. I just want to tweak this shoreline a little bit, because I know that when you have a little bit of a gradual decline here, it bumps up the ports and they get to be really high. So we're gonna come down to sea level here, get as close as we can without messing up our shoreline. If I keep the edge of this red-orange dot, oops, a little bit too close there. If I keep this right up to the seawall, it might be just what we need. We'll go all the way along and just smooth it out. Fill in this little hole in the ocean. Alright, and this can be fixed a little bit. Make sure this is smooth. Yep, looking good. Smooth that out. That's good enough. Alright, we need a new port. And I gotta think carefully about exactly where I want to put this, because I plan to connect it up to the rail line. And we want to have enough space from the right here for that track that connects to actually go up, and possibly put in a ferry or something else there. So, you know what, let's just kind of eyeball it for now, and we'll get it, say here. Sure. And still, I don't know why, there's a bit of a height issue here, but it's not significant, it's not terrible, we can leave it. Alright, next thing I want to do, I want to extend this main line down as far as I can, cross the highway, and start pointing toward this cargo airport hub. Let's do that now. Yeah, that is smooth. And we're down at a pretty good height now. And let's see where we can cross here. What I want to do, this line is going to serve us all the way down the coast. Probably follow the highway until here, cross the highway, and jog over this direction. And one day I suspect we're going to put a fishing industry over here, but that's for another day. So let's see if we can get this to follow the highway just a little bit. That's pretty smooth. I like the way that looks. It's pretty tight to the highway. It's crossing at a great spot. And then we continue to follow the highway out here. We're gonna leave that for continuing the build at another time. We don't know if this airport's gonna move slightly or not, so we'll just connect up our port. And I wanna get in some warehouses here because I know this is gonna be a very busy area. And I wanna immediately start putting my collector in here. So this will go who knows how far. We're there for now. And this is gonna connect up with this obviously. So it's gonna come out a bit and likely curve down. So, but let's finish our warehouses for a second. And we will put everything that we need here. So, balance is fine. We're going to put all 4 of the major industry products here. Great. And let's get this road in here so we know where we have to cross our railroad. I want this to come down a nice smooth way. How do we like that? Let's see. Yeah, there's a bit of symmetry to that. There's a bit of order to that. This is running parallel to the highway. I still don't know what we're gonna put back here, but we'll figure that out at a later date. And for now, it will work. So now we know where our lines are crossing. Next step, we gotta connect this guy up to this main line. And obviously we're not gonna connect it from this side because this bridge is way, way, way too high. And we don't wanna mess with any more bridges. Here we go. Continuing to drop down, so we're gonna have to kind of eyeball this, and I'm gonna put in a small segment here just to mark where we need to be, and we'll adjust these heights manually. And we'll do this without anything but angle on. And I'll come at it from this side and see that we're at the right height. Go up 1, 2, I think that should do it. It's still lowering down, but I think it's an okay lowering down. Yeah. Okay. I'm getting there. How is it? That's not pretty, but it's gonna work. Let's just check that the rails are actually connected. Yes, looking good. This one, great. This one, perfect, beauty. Okay, and we do have even more space for what I want to do next, which is put in another rail line up here, which will be the external side. So we're connected. We've got to get this road connected to the other one. We'll back this off. And I'm a fan of the straight roads, so we're going to do as many of these segments as possible we can straight. Thank you to the creator of the map who lined up all these pillars beautifully. And we've got plenty of height here, so I think if we go down to the bottom, down to the ground, Ooh. Almost get through all the pillars. But there's something blocking us. That might be the best we can do here. Might just turn some of these guidelines off. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, just back this off slightly so we can make a connection. And I don't want to delete too much of that, but hopefully it's gonna work. And goes back on. And oh my gosh, that's money. That's money. All right. Next, we'll go sort of parallel to the shore here. Maybe too close. And we gotta think about this. So we do have this collector going on the left side of the bank here. We're probably gonna want another one on this side at some point when we develop this area. So I'm guessing we're gonna come out with this road to roughly here, I would say. That makes sense. Here and then go up that direction. So we'll come out as far as there. And we'll see if we can eyeball that a little bit. We're probably going to end up putting a roundabout where my mouse cursor is. But for now, I think that's going to be okay. And we'll just kind of draw a road up this direction for the future so that we remember what we're trying to do. That'll be a roundabout, almost certain. And of course, this is a bit of a jog, so we'll use a little trick. We'll come off tight. Maybe we can do it. Come off here, which is about 5 squares, and another 5 on this side. Yep. Delete what's in the middle. Delete those guidelines. And let's put our road in. Oh, we are connected to the city. We are connected with the rail line. We don't have power, which is okay. We're gonna get that in 1 second. All right, next step, I'm gonna get the external rail line in. So here we go. We're gonna put another parallel rail. And I'm honestly not sure how far this is going to go, or whether it will cross here. It's probably going to be a tunnel if it goes anywhere at all. But I want that external cargo rail right about here, and we're going to connect it to the main line, which runs in the middle of this highway, crosses over and gets up here. Now, obviously we have a bit of a height issue. This is going to be insane if we wanted to try to junction this off here and go down there. I think it makes a lot of sense to come down the hill, do some grading. We want to be able for trains coming in and going out to get onto this line as well as this one. And so we cannot join it anywhere west of this node here. It's going to probably come down the hill and going to join under the highway here somewhere, which means let's get in a new rail. So that's just a guideline for where we want to put our new train station. And I'm actually not... can we get under here? This is going to be very interesting. Turn all my guidelines off. And try to find the magic path through here. Oh my gosh. Yep. That was pretty good. Now, do I like that? We're going to be coming down here. We're going to swoop around, go right through. That might work. That just might work. And I've got to avoid this pillar, so we have to turn this track before there. If I can get it through here. Oh, yes. That's just pretty amazing. And do we want to get crazy and try to curve this? Oh my gosh, that's even better. Wow. That is just luck. That's got to be luck, right? That's luck, right? Awesome. Guidelines. Connected. Oh my gosh, I'm excited now. I'm excited. This is gonna be great. Pull this line out, and we know that a cargo rail yard is 8 tiles in total, including the rail line. So what makes sense here? Do we pull this off? Let's pull this road. Yeah, just pull it back a bit for a second. We're gonna go from the rail line. We're gonna make sure we get 8 tiles, including the rail. So there's 2, 4. That should do it, right there. Oh, of course now we have a wonky grid pattern, which, yeah, I guess that makes sense because of what we're trying to do with the train. So that's unfortunate. Can we fix it? We can fix it. We can totally fix it, right? Yeah. Oh yes. Very nice. Of course, we've given ourselves a bit of a challenge here now, haven't we? So let's see if we can rebuild that line. Boo-hoo-hoo. That was so money, and we messed it up. That's okay. That's okay. We're gonna fix it. I want to kiss the creator of this map who made all of this so perfect. I mean, it couldn't have been more perfect with all the pillars lining up. This train line, that, I mean, you probably understand how incredible that is that we got that to work. Wow, I'm impressed. Okay, now there's just a small matter of bit of grading here, and I want to, as I said, come down here, sort of that direction to meet up with this line. Where did it go? It's so hard to see. Where are you, train line? There you are. Maybe we should bring this out a bit just to make sure we're comfy here. And we can't go just straight up. It's just too steep here. Look at the topography. I think you'll agree this is a little nutty, so we're gonna have to swoop it a little bit. And that means getting our swoop tool up. And the small one should do fine. The small one should do fine. So we're gonna swoop down. Gosh, one second. Down to here, approximately. Right click, and then, this will be interesting. I guess we'll want to go down here, curve it a little bit. Oh boy, that might not be wide enough. Let's go to the next tool. Yes. How does everyone like that? I think it's workable. Workable. Okay, let's see what happens. Let's get our curved track tool on. Come out to the guideline. Oh, I like it. I think I like it. Do I like it? Yeah, that's pretty darn fantastic. Oh, this is really exciting. Very, very exciting. Now we've got a way to get out to this area of the map and this area. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to do some craziness and put another curve in here. Means just doing some weird stuff with the bridge, but yeah, we're gonna figure that out. I wonder if maybe I just put some land underneath this. Do I bridge it? Do I land it? Let's see what I can do with the grading. I'm not sure that it's gonna be much. This is just quite the feat in vanilla if you can manage it. And we will manage it. Well, that actually isn't half bad. That is not terrible. That is not terrible whatsoever. Now we gotta just get out some of these trees here. A little too close to the track. We don't want any trees falling on the track. But holy, I think we made this work somehow. We've got the connections made. It's very, very steep here and very curvy, but that we can live with. It's connected to both directions of this line. I like it. Let's smooth it out. Okay, well, it's like now it's actually been graded just enough. And we can turn out our soften terrain tool here. I always forget which is the hard one. Primary mouse button to smooth, secondary button for stronger effect. Alright. Soften her up, soften her up. Here one. Yeah, look at that. Whoa, what? Don't know what happened there. I might be overdoing it here a little bit. Okay, how does that look? Yeah, that looks like it's actually been graded. What I would assume would be properly. I have no idea. And we're connected. Our external cargo train terminal connected. And we're keeping them separate from the outside world. So the trucks can carry cargo from this one to this one. There's just one last thing we have to do, which is get our power over here. And of course, we're not going to work on the airport this episode. That's going to be for a future one. But let's get this running and see how it actually works. And the problem here is that, wow, do we ever have some highways blocking what we couldn't possibly do with power lines? I don't want to put a power line across the water here. Doesn't make sense. I'm going to have to go all the way back. Wow. Wow. Can you put power lines under highways? Yes, you can. Oh, isn't that interesting? That's pretty sweet. That is very sweet. Wow, I did not know you could do that. Learn something every day. I believe we are connected. Now we just gotta get the water in. Amazing. And there's one last thing I want to do, which is just throw a little bit of commercial in here so that people have a place to go to eat or grab a coffee or who knows what. Can we run it? Let's run it. All right, let's let this run for a minute, see what happens. There's also one other thing I want to do, which is paint the district. And it's not technically going to be an industrial district, so we're just going to call it a regular district. And Manor Hills, no, that's not very Scandinavian, so let's call it something different. And by Scandinavian, I mean Dutch. So let's call this Port of Antwerp. One of the busiest ports in Europe, if not the world, I believe. And it has a, if not a Nordic feel, it has a North Sea feel to it. So there we go. And do we need any policies in here? Let's double check. Outside connections, interesting. Handle more vehicles carrying tourists, increasing the amount of visitors. So we're not handling any tourists in this area. I don't think that's going to apply to us. What's it cost? 10,000 a week. So that's probably going to be a That's going to be a citywide policy if ever we do it. Workers Union, we don't have any residents in this area. Automated tolls, Industry 4.0. Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're good. That's awesome. Well, look at this. We have trains running in and out of here. This train is 7% full. All right, well, it's just a start. We've got a ton of cargo traffic busying up these roads, which is great. We've got our warehouses slowly filling up. We've got our port working. I think we're gonna leave it here. So we've done a pretty good job of, you know, giving our area, our industry region some new infrastructure. And let's check on the train traffic that we hopefully fixed. Smooth, smooth, smooth. You know, it's all right. It's crawling a little bit here, but at least, okay, it seems to be butter at this moment. The trains are moving, and they're full of passengers, both directions, and I'm not seeing any backups. This is great. It looks like we've fixed our problem. How's the traffic out here? That's really heavy, but it is not a problem. They're still only using one lane of the toll booth. This is working. This is great. All right. Oh, well, you know, we can't have it all. We can't have it all. Got to end the episode with a bit of a disaster, but at least our faithful fire helicopters are on it. So we'll leave it here, and I'm gonna say thanks so much for watching to the end. If you really appreciated this episode, just give me a like and hit the follow button, hit the little bell icon so that you can get notified of new episodes. Thanks again for watching, and we'll talk soon. We'll see you.